Üdvözlök mindenkit. Én Kamrás Krisztófer vagyok, és
Hi
engem...
everybody, my name is Christopher Kamlas, and it is my honor to introduce our lecture tonight. Health Academy Part 7 is what is going to happen. You know, Dr. Szűcs is a very respected doctor, and I have been able to learn a lot from him. I also like him because I can always learn something new from him. What we focus on is the cardiovascular system today. I'm here, yes, and thank you for accepting my invitation. Me is not the point here, so it's over to you. I hope everybody will enjoy this. Thank you very much. Because this is a very exciting, thrilling topic, which is the cardiovascular system. I will just jump right into it. And this is what it is. So, Zinzino Health Academy, this series, this is a very important episode. This is the last episode in this series, but probably this is the most important. Why do I say that? Because if you think about it, today diseases of civilization or lifestyle diseases, which most people suffer from, diseases which were unknown before, civilization has brought these diseases with it. And if you want to set up kind of an order, a priority, what are the symptoms, what are the diseases that most people die of today? Well, these are cardiovascular diseases, and some other diseases are linked to this, such as diabetes, where cardiovascular diseases can develop in an environment where somebody has high blood sugar. So it's worth knowing a bit more about how this works. For the last few centuries, we have experienced very fast changes in our environment, in our world, in our diet, in our lifestyle, in what we eat, in how we eat. I think this is not new to you. What is also not new, that there are multinational companies now which are very dominant in our life today. There are trends which they control. They create want for things, and they can create huge desire in people. We are very, we like comfort a lot. We like things we can reach easily, which are at hand, and this is in favor of processed foods. And this is now only the nutrition aspect of it. So these are foods which are easy to reach, but for the human body, they provide calories, and we are not hungry. We are not hungry if we eat them, but there are no more positive aspects to these foods because they are not nutrient rich. 50 or 100 years ago, people never used to eat such foods, processed foods like we eat today. What they actually ate or used to eat, they ate proper carbohydrates, proteins, fats, plant-based, animal-based. It was a good quality, unprocessed, raw food diet. These foods are composed of these three basic components, and that's what we get our energy, our calories from. This hasn't changed for centuries. But the calories that we eat are not connected with nutrients which we would need, badly need. The carbohydrates you can see here in the picture, these carbohydrates are very good sources of carbohydrates. But in the picture here, we can see many other sources of carbohydrates. Actually, these are all sources of carbohydrates. These are just calories, empty calories, I would say. Here, we have nutrients, vitamins, minerals, trace minerals, phytonutrients, plant-based components, which we should consume with our foods because they are very beneficial. A very important part of our diet should be various colorful plants. Today, we examine every aspect from a cardiovascular viewpoint. These purple, yellow, red colors in fruits and vegetables, they all protect your heart, as you can see here. This is very important. These ingredients are key to protecting our cardiovascular system. Essential nutrients are those which our bodies cannot produce, so we have to take them through diet. These fruits and vegetables contain essential nutrients. In order for our cardiovascular system to work properly, we badly need these nutrients. Should I say that we should go back to a diet and habits which can be described as the ketogen paleolith food pyramid, which I don't want to go into in detail because it would take a lot of time. But in this food pyramid, there are no processed foods. There are no cookies. There are no gluten containing foods. There are no processed milk, dairy products, or very minimal amounts. So no processed foods at all. These are traditional, these are classic foods which we can prepare with fermentation, with cooking, with steaming, or raw foods. So what's the problem? Today, the biggest problem is that we tend to go to an extreme side, which is the fat journey. It's an obesogenic environment which makes you fat. We should be very conscious about what we do every day, the choices we make with our shopping lists. We should not believe our eyes and our taste buds because there are many things which taste very good, because tastes can be enhanced by additives which misleads your brain. These are processed foods. So you should be very conscious to walk the other way so that you don't miss the nutrients that you need so badly. Looking at a full spectrum diet, we should eat all kinds of foods. You should prefer variety. You should have a good diet based on raw foods as much as you can. This is what you have to eat. But if you want to do this to the degree that it is suggested, Still, it's not a guarantee that you will get all the nutrients that you need. Truth is, partially you can take these nutrients from good food. So for the first few minutes, I wanted to tell you the causes, or I want to reflect on why diseases of civilization or lifestyle diseases develop. The other key factor is stress. We will examine that as well. So the environmental stressors, in the environmental changes that we have experienced in the last couple of decades, and which we did not experience for millions of years, these changes have become a dead end for us as humans. So lifestyle diseases have developed, as you can see here, and these are all linked by one common factor, which is chronic inflammation. The Enzino Health Academy series is centered on, or is focused on inflammation, and we have examined and will examine all aspects of this. And today is the cardiovascular aspect, or the diabetes aspect. So inflammation will affect all tissues, all cells in our bodies. Why is that? Because I will show you in this other picture. This seems a bit complicated, and this shows you Nobel Prize winner research. These are the processes in the human body, the network of these processes, the whole system which becomes activated when inflammation starts. In the center, you can see one thing. This is like a switch. If we switch it on, there is inflammation. If we switch it off, inflammation will end. So how can we switch it off and on? Lifestyle, diet, being healthy, healthy thinking, healthy diet, healthy lifestyle is what you can use to switch inflammation off. Your psychological state, your mood, and all the stresses from civilization will switch it on. Bad diet, wrong lifestyle will switch it on. This is a kind of a balance. So the more this system is activated, the more ill you will become. This is not just your cardiovascular system. This is any cell, any tissue, immune system, tumors, digestive system, diabetes, skeletal diseases, and everything. So why does this happen? That all your tissues and cells and organs are affected. We don't know which organ in your body will suffer in your special case. We have tendencies, we have genetic predispositions from your family lines, genetic lines, which happened in your family. You have to consider why this happened. Was it inherited? Were there genes which can be activated in your case, which can switch this kind of NF kappa beta switch? I have to go back to diet, way of thinking, way of eating, and of course lack of essential nutrients will switch it on. can make you sick. I have talked about this for minutes because I consider it very, very important, and it's very obvious in the case of cardiovascular diseases. But what's the solution? We know that 50 or 70 years ago, people didn't experience these diseases in such a huge percentage. Now, 9 out of 10 people have inflammation, and this will lead to diseases of civilization. There is a solution, though. Question: so what is the solution? Would it be medications? Not really. Because medications will only handle the symptoms. In the case of lifestyle diseases, what does it mean? It means that if there is such a disease, by the time the symptoms appear, many years have passed when you have been sick, but you didn't know. We are talking about 10 to 15 years. These are slow processes, slow developments that will kill your cells, your organs, your tissues. And there comes the time when you feel pains, aches, and then you go to the doctor, and then you are given drugs which focus on symptoms. But the process which have led to the symptoms, to inflammation symptoms, and this is lifestyle, diet, and we can go back to basics, these drugs have absolutely no effect on the causes. So the methods will try to prevent the problem from becoming even more serious. But if we want to handle the root causes, when you apply a therapy which focuses on the causes, then we wind up with the Zinzino health protocol, because the root cause is inflammation, and chronic inflammation and the mechanisms which switch on this chronic inflammation, and the Zinzino health protocol will handle those problems. So let's look at the human cardiovascular system. There is the circulatory system, the motor, the engine is the heart, but the circulatory system is what becomes the problem. So heart problems are fewer than circulatory system problems. This is true because if by conservative estimations, we have thousands of kilometers of veins in your body. So all this would be longer than the equator of planet Earth. This is very complicated, very sophisticated, and it has various properties. The engine, the heart. I will not talk about this in detail because this is just a victim of the whole system. When it becomes the problem, it's something that you have inherited and that you were born with. All the other problems of the heart will develop when you have atherosclerosis, and heart problems are just the effect of the problems. So the heart suffers when the circulatory system has been suffering for a long time. it's an important thing that there is a standard amount of blood in the body when you donate blood and you give a few deciliters of blood. This will be regenerated, so it's a constant. The work of the heart, which will pump the blood, this is also a constant because the heart can adapt to changes. So in a vessel system, blood is pumped. What will create the pressure? So in various parts of the circulatory system, the pressure will depend on how flexible your veins are. This is the key factor. You can see arteries, and what we have to note here is that arteries, big arteries and smaller arteries are key factors. Their elasticity or flexibility is the most important factor in monitoring blood pressure. You know that there is the small blood circle and the large blood circle in the body. 10 trillion cells in our body will take up oxygen and will need oxygen. Of course, these cells will also get rid of their metabolic waste, which is also carried in the blood. For example, carbon dioxide so the body will get rid of carbon dioxide, and the blood will bring oxygen. This whole process takes 30 minutes in the whole body. High blood pressure is a symptom which doctors trace back to obesity, genetic factors, smoking, and lack of exercise, alcohol consumption. These are the causes, and that's it. There is no more digging deep into causes, because this should be a personal issue, and it's not the doctor's concern. But we can see that that there is high fatty acid ratio in the blood, diabetes and metabolic syndromes, and in small and later in bigger veins, problems develop. Here you can see that there is a vein in the heart, which you can see in detail here. So how atherosclerosis develops and plaques develop and thrombosis develops. So the blood circulates here. Various fats, cholesterol molecules will be left, or will be on the internal wall of vessels. They try to find holes, and they will stick to the holes. After 15, 20, 40, 50 years, this process is going on in the body. More and more cholesterol will become plaques on the internal walls of arteries. This will create a block which will make the diameter of the veins smaller and smaller. And it can be a full blockage. Let's look at how this works from our viewpoint. So this is the wall, the internal wall of the vein. It is elastic, it is full of muscle. This is why veins can expand or contract, and there is an internal wall, an internal membrane. This is just one cell thick. This is a very sensitive part of the vein. So this is 40,000 kilometers of veins, and all of this is covered by these cells. So it is this. There are smooth muscle and matrix proteins. And this is how a normal vein looks. In this internal wall, this thin cell membrane contains various molecules, mostly fats. These are the fats that you have eaten. Only the types of fats which are useful, but fats which are not very useful, not beneficial, what's more, they are harmful. Now, let's just say that this whole system is insulated by cells which are very sensitive, and what goes in and what enters and what goes out is a very complicated process. This internal wall of the veins is a very sensitive area. This is the same thing from another viewpoint. I'm talking about these cells here. After the first 20 or 25 years of life, at the age of 25, all the environmental impacts and because of diet, this internal layer will be hurt. Very extreme sports or no sports at all, not enough water. There will be holes on the surface of this layer where things can go in and out, including cholesterol molecules in the blood. But there are other cells, immune cells as well, which go in and out. The problem is that there are aggressive molecules in our blood, free radicals, we call them. These are pro-inflammatory, aggressive agents. Oxidative stress is caused by them. And when blood pressure is high, pressure itself will create holes. I would say there will be scratches on this sensitive layer. These damages cause your body to start regeneration processes. If this process is constant, then this wall will start an inflammation. foam cell formation. This will be a continuous process. So pro-inflammatory factors will get in there, and the immune system will start inflammation. This can happen at the age of 30. Maybe this has been going on in his or her body for 10 years, but there are no symptoms yet. This process will turn into more serious inflammation. This will be a very hard plaque, and if there is an impulse from the heart and the vessel cannot expand, then this pressure will become high blood pressure, which affects the whole body. This will create hard and unflexible veins. If you are too stressed, if these negative effects are too strong, then this sensitive layer will be subjected to too much pressure. This will scratch these layers, and there will be internal bleeding from the micro vessels of the plaque, and this bleeding will create a blood clot inside a plaque. This can happen within a few minutes or hours. From the symptom-free state, you can go into a stroke or a heart attack within a minute. That's why these are so dangerous, because there is an underlying process which you are not aware of. These are trigger factors. It's enough for you to have some trauma which can trigger these scratches and the hole, and the membrane would protect you from such bleeding. And if this layer, this membrane is healthy, then you can prevent such catastrophic diseases, these states. Let's go back to fatty acids. There are many kinds of fats that we consume. There are neutral ones, which are saturated fats, which you need. They are a source of calories, and they don't cause too much problem. If you take a lot, it can cause problems, but this is not typical. There are also unsaturated fatty acids. This kind of fat is sensitive to heat. These are fats from plants. This is healthy. You should not eat a lot of them. Let's go down to omega-3. This is a polyunsaturated fatty acid. This is what will protect your body, that layer, that thin layer, from scratches and from lasting damage and plaques in your body. This will maintain your system, circulatory system. Let's look at omega-6, which is the most harmful thing which is happening to us these days. This is an aggressive kind of fat which will be incorporated into cell membranes like the others. All of them are present, but omega-6s are pro-inflammatory, cause inflammation, which is very bad. The problem is that in the last couple of decades, in our diet, we have had a huge amount of such omega-6 fatty acids. And if we keep doing it, the consequence is that you can see it can cause thrombosis. Your immune system will become worse, and there will be more inflammation processes in your body, and the arachidonic acid will turn these inflammations on. And if you consume omega-3, it will switch it off. And there should be a balance between the two. I won't go into details, but you will see that omega-3 will lead to the release of anti-inflammatory factors, but omega-6 will cause inflammation. So we should eat a lot of omega-3. This is the solution. And let's reduce omega-6 consumption. We consume a lot of omega-6 with processed plant oils, sunflower oils, and all added fats are omega-6s. Hydrogenized fatty plant oils, animal fats, a lot of them contain enormous amounts of omega-6s. If what I advocate are cold-pressed oils, but these also contain omega-6s, but our omega-3 levels cannot be increased with these fatty acids, with these plant-based oils, because they contain a lot of omega-6. The only tool to balance this out is fish oil. You can see that salmon, mackerel, swordfish, bluefish, sardines contain 3 times more or even more omega-3 than omega-6. So we can load up on omega-3. All this can be measured. We have a test called Zinzino balance test that measures your fatty acid profile in your blood. 11 fatty acids, their balance, their ratio, their amount. You can see monounsaturated, polyunsaturated, saturated fatty acids, omega-3s, omega-6s, omega-9, and their balance. And there are ratios which you can see. I will only highlight one of them. This is the omega-6 to 3 ratio, which is the 3 to 1 is ideal. This is pro-inflammation, anti-inflammation is balanced. In most cases, however, you can see 10 to 1, 50 to 1 in our area. So this is very much out of balance. And the whole point of the Zinzino Balance program is to reverse this bad ratio and suppress inflammation or cause the body not to go into these inflammation processes. The test will show you what to do. The test will come with instructions about what to do to create balance. One of the key recommendations is balance oil. This is fish oil plus olive oil and polyphenols. This is a very good combination, where the ingredients work in synergy to help omega-3 to be utilized in the best possible way by your body. So why balanced oil is better than nature? We copy nature, but we add some more things which assist omega-3. I have heard that from people that they consume fish oil or fish oil capsules, but if we examine such products, then they should take 6 to 12 capsules or even more, 10 milliliters. Best solution is 10 milliliters of balanced oil, which is highly appropriate to achieve the result, which is 3 to 1 ratio between omega-6 to omega-3. You cannot really achieve this with any other product. This oil has a very nice taste, grapefruit, lemon, vanilla, and so forth. But if you want to take capsules, then we have Essent, and 3 soft gels will contain the necessary dosage for a 90 kilogram adult. It also contains polyphenols from cocoa and olives. And I would dedicate 5 minutes to diabetes. Why should I do this? Because in our world, diabetes is the number 2 problem after cardiovascular problems. But if I consider them as one, which you will see why I suggest this, then 70% of the population suffer from these problems. Diabetes can be traced back to diet again. We have bad habits. We eat processed foods, high sugar foods, which leads to constant high blood sugar, and the unnecessary excessive amounts are stored in our bodies. But so when we eat a lot of sugar, our body will secrete a lot of insulin because the body tries to use it up. Will try to get rid of it, and your cells work in a way that when they perceive insulin, they will open the cell for the sugar to enter. But after a while, your cells say, no more sugar. And when you only take a small bar of chocolate, when you eat some chips, and when you take a little bit of carbohydrate or kinds of soda or kinds of sugary fruits, then this system is under stress. This has never happened in evolution before. So much sugar gets into the body. In the ketogen food pyramid, this is what it tries to avoid: a lot of sugar. And where you saw all the multinational companies, their products, their brands, these are all full of sugar. So what's the consequence? I will only cover this side. A lot of insulin, a lot of glucose, a lot of them in the blood, and your body will not tolerate this for a long time. In the pancreas, there will be a disease which is diabetes. So how is this connected to the circulatory system? If you take a lot of sugar on an ongoing basis, it's like scratching your walls of your veins, of your vessels. This will lead to high blood pressure and atherosclerosis. This is the most important key statement. So diabetes is not a problem because, okay, the pancreas will be worn out. This could be compensated by drugs, but high insulin, high blood pressure will destroy your vessels, your veins, in your eyes, in your kidneys, in your very, very thin bloods, and the vessels in your brain, in your heart, and we go back to where we started. So the complications of diabetes, if you look at it, this is official: peripheral artery disease, heart attack, stroke, diabetic nephropathy, and eye problems, cataracts. These are all cardiovascular system connected problems. I'm going to talk about extend as well because diabetes and cardiovascular problems are caused by missing nutrients. Balanced oil is a key thing to compensate for omega-3 deficiencies. Extend and Extend Plus contains 22 or 23 micronutrients, plant-based nutrients. This is a formula which will stop inflammation through the immune system and compensates for the lack of nutrients in your diet. You can see green tea extract, curcumin, and other ingredients. Extend Plus contains all that, but all ingredients and excipients are all natural, even the shell of the capsule. I would like to touch upon stress too. I have talked about the trigger factors, but stress will raise your blood pressure, will make inflammation more dangerous. It's like pouring oil on the fire. So this is stress. Fire could die off, but stress is the oil which won't let it die off. What is stress? It can be anything. It's very individualized, and it's an individual reaction which produces stress hormones and neurochemical reactions. Stress is very important in our system, in our life, because that's how we react to our environment. But we have to know how long stress, these stress factors are, and how strong and how intense they are. Your stress response system, sudden, intense stress, what will happen? If you are stressed, there are many hormones secreted. Your heart rate will increase, your blood pressure will increase. I don't want to go into the other aspects. Blood sugar will increase, and vessels will. So there will be a dilation of vessels. So constant stress will cause constant increased heart rate. You will have arrhythmia, you will have high blood pressure, you will have digestive problems, and your liver will be stressed too, and your detox mechanisms will be stressed out too, in addition to many other problems. So the constant stress will cause serious problems in your cardiovascular system. Cortisol is what is released. Heart disease, high blood pressure is caused by cortisol. I want to talk about Viva for a minute because it contains saffron extract. Saffron has been revered for thousands of years. In ancient China, it had a very key role. It has a lot of positive benefits. In clinical trials, it showed that saffron extracts will compensate stress. Saffron extract is capable of offsetting these very sudden stress impulses. So when you are faced with very intense stress, if you take this, if you take Viva, then your body can handle it much easier. And Viva will prevent the feelings of exhaustion and fatigue, which is very dangerous when you are under stress and you are fatigued for a long time. If you take balance oil, if you take Extend, and if you take Viva, this will prepare your body to be able to cope with stress much better. In the human body, regeneration can occur while you rest. But if you are stressed, you cannot rest, and your body cannot patch the problems. Cholesterol will make these patches, which will become plaques and so forth. I have already talked about this. Inflammation and atherosclerosis. So we should protect our bodies from stress. When you have cardiovascular problems and you start using these products, then we will stabilize and reverse the problem. If there are plaques in your arteries, we cannot undo them, but it's a stable condition. The problem is when the internal wall becomes swelled and there is inflammation, but we can undo that. So this lecture has been about prevention. If you have diseases, existing conditions, there are many clinical papers about diet and supplements and lifestyle. You can maintain your condition, or you can even undo some of the damage. But the key is prevention. After 20 or 30 years, when you have been symptom-free and then the problem hits you, we are talking about the last seconds of 24 hours on the clock. What if paying attention to all the minutes and seconds of the day, of the 24 hours? What about preventing problems? This is what Zinzino is about. This is the concept. The last thought about prevention, I always quote the Dalai Lama. He said that man, he's surprised about mankind. He said, man itself, because he sacrifices his health in order to make money. Then he sacrifices money to recuperate his health. And then he's so anxious about the future that he does not enjoy the present. The result being that he does not live in the present or the future. He lives as if he is never going to die. And then he dies having not lived, really. In this thought, what I like most is that prevention is about today. You can't do anything in the past. It's gone. You cannot start using the products yesterday. In the future is very uncertain. You don't know where you are on the scale from disease to health. So you have to think about now. I wish you good health, and I wish you consider all that I have talked about. And because we won't meet again before the holidays, I wish you a very Merry Christmas. And I wish that you can persist with your good health. Good night.